All right. Hello, guys. I apologize that I am a little bit late tonight. I realized that I don't have any food in the house, so I went to Wendy's to get some junk food because I deserve it. And I have a new intro for my videos, and I'm very excited about it. I worked on it very hard today when should have been doing homework. Um, and I'm gonna play it for you guys soon once I have some more people in here. I was gonna play it as the intro, but usually it takes a little bit for people to come in. Hey, Roadie Gal. Roadie Gal is the only one who has seen my wonderful intro, and I've actually improved upon it since then, Roadie Gal. Um, yeah. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. And I had like a fun night planned for today. So it depends if I hold on, figure out what. Oh, that's neat. Okay. I just got a notification from my own live with a picture of my face, well, Molly's face and my me next to my recliner. Hey, Earthbound Spirit. And I was gonna, yeah. So I, if it depends if I can figure out how to work a particular thing, but we always have a fun time just chatting too. So I don't think that I will be on tomorrow, only because I of course, didn't, left a lot of my homework to the last minute, and I need it done by tomorrow night. So I will be working on that. So depending on when I get it done, if I go live tomorrow, it'll be late. But I don't mind staying up with you guys. Like it hasn't really been disrupting my sleep schedule. I've been getting up at the same time. Um, and like I said last night when I went to bed, I said, "Watch that. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to go to bed, and there's going to be all sorts of crazy nonsense that goes on." And I'm gonna wake up and have to play catch up with everything, so I, know what I'm talking about. So yeah, when I first scheduled the live, I put it for just something fun and lighthearted, just because there's been so much negativity. And then I started seeing the events of last night, and then Natasha kind of put out her statement earlier. And I don't know, I have some thoughts. I do. I do have some thoughts. I do. And you know what? I had it all like planned out in my head, but of course now that I'm like talking, I, am reminded why I take notes before I speak because it's never going to come out quite right like it does in my head. Um but for starters, I'm going to preface this with I hope that nobody genuinely did any of those things, because that's really messed up if they did. Children should be left out of things at all times. I discourage and do not condone anybody going real life. YouTube is its own microcosm of the world. There is no, hey, Liberty Farmer, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to go to Wendy's because I have no food in the house. Um, and I needed to get something, and that was the first thing I thought of. So that's where I was. Um, and I hope nobody's actually doing any of those things, because children should be left out of it. Like I said, nobody should be going real life on anybody else. There should be no calls made to anybody's employer, to anybody's relatives. Like, I don't condone any of that. And at this point, I'm going to say under any circumstances, because we all see where's the beef. I actually, you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I got baked potato and chili and a salad. So, yeah. Did I go to the one near Walmart? I did, Rhoda Gal. I sure did. That's the closest one to me. Oh, Parker says that. Right. Well, I mean, I could have told you it wasn't any of us. Um, yeah, I could have. You're right. Well, I have a feeling that. I mean, I think I think I know what she means with that. And that, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, there are some people that are like loose cannons in the community. There definitely are. I got the taco salad, but I almost got the avocado salad, and now I'm kind of. There is one on Mineral Spring. I go to that Taco Bell on Mineral Spring, because that's the closest Taco Bell to me. But I like to think, but we all know that there are some people in the community that can get set off by things easily and then go off. I can think of one in particular, but actually two in particular. one of which I haven't seen in quite some time, but it's probably everywhere. But as a collective group effort to like hurt Natasha and her subs, none of us would do that. None of us. And I certainly wouldn't do that. And then she's trying to say that the awareness channels are inciting this kind of hate. And I don't, I take, I hadn't been to Wendy's in many years until like a week ago. And now I was like, the chili was actually not bad. So I was like, you know what? Like, I was going to get Taco Bell, but every time I get Taco Bell, I end up being disappointed. And I usually order a lot. Like, I get at least like $40 worth of food, but it's not just for me. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with Wendy's because Wendy's was good last time. Yeah, I should have been on earlier, but I realized I did not have any food in the house that was like substantial for dinner. And that's, I can go without that, but that's not fair to those in my household. And that's actually why I keep most of my personal life off of here, like entirely. And because I came from having a large platform on Instagram, I generally don't put any family members on my social media, period. Or else like me and like you're friends with me on on Facebook, and in that case then you can see a little bit about my life. But everything else, and I've double checked it twice, like I don't care if people see pictures of me, that doesn't bother me. But nobody will know anything about my family. Because there's some weirdos out there, and there are weirdos that don't even come from this community. They kind of wander, and I've seen it happen elsewhere. And hello, Amanda. But yeah, nobody here is going to do that, and I was like kind of irritated by that, because I hate being lumped in to a genre that I don't feel that I belong, and I think is an inaccurate description. I, for one, don't feel that I incite hate of any kind. In fact, I think I speak, in a way that I don't believe is, I don't, I mean, have I said some, like in my videos, I've said some things that are kind of mean, but that's like the extent of it. I don't feel like anything that I have said here would ever incite somebody to go out and behave badly. So I don't like that. And that's like telling people that, we're starting like these things that it's not true. And I also wouldn't put it past her to kind of set things up herself, because I strongly believe that that has happened in the past, but that is speculation, so I cannot prove it. But are there people that take things too far? Sure. So when she comes on here and like is just getting all bent out of shape about people being mean to her, and that she can't take it, and she's strong but nobody could deal with it, and I'll be honest with you, I don't get a fraction of that, and I don't wish to. So I mean, I'm not going to even speak to that, but I have received some emails that are really really awful, from people that are, supporters of her, because they state it in the email. Right. It comes to a point where if you are behaving a certain way, hey, Dave, if you're behaving a certain way, you can't expect people not to react and respond. And some people do it a little bit, over the top, but so does she. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel bad. At first, weeks ago, I kind of feel bad. No, I know you wouldn't do that, Liberty. Like I said, I'm gonna check my email very soon. I just need to get this schoolwork out of the way because I need to focus on it, and so that's why I'm kind of doing this late. But if I come on tomorrow, it's going to be late. But I'm going to check the email as soon as I finish, the 4 assignments that I have not finished yet. Right. I agree. And the sad fishing. And then, of course, immediately, hey, Michelle, immediately after that, she goes into, starting to add stuff to her Amazon wish list. And of course, she has to say it out loud, hint, hint, wink, wink. If anybody wants to make me feel better, you want to hop on my Amazon and buy me some, ugly makeup palettes and stuff. I mean, you know what? I'm going to give her credit where credit is due, because you know what? That's what I do. Her eye makeup is on point sometimes. And she does a nice liner line, and I'm jealous of that. I am jealous of that, Natasha. There you go. I can't draw lines quite that straight. But that's about all I'm gonna say on that. And sometimes her lipstick is popping. I'm not gonna lie about that either. But that's about it. That's about the only nice thing I can say right now. I'm not a fan of the open shoulder shirts or the muumuus or the translucent nighties. And sometimes it's not. That's fair, Rodiga. Actually, I forgot I learned how to do this. Was it? Yeah, it is better than a year ago. I have noticed that. That's what I'm saying. Like, ever since she kind of, I mean, I hate, ever since she started getting those subscription boxes, I've noticed that she's been like showcasing that makeup. And I'm kind of the same. Like, if you saw me without makeup, which is how I normally am, you would not recognize me, most likely. And I can look like two different people, whether my hair is down or up. And I have participation trophy wife and, troll that lives under a bridge. And doesn't see the light of day. There's no in between. And I feel like, I think Natasha might be in that boat, as a lot of us are, which is fine. But yeah, the sad fishing and, and she does a really good job. And I wish this was the first time that I had heard her kind of go down this road. But I feel like there was a similar situation with Mandy. And I don't remember the specifics of the situation. All I remember is it felt awfully similar to what's going on here. And like I said, like, I really hope that nobody did that. But like, yeah, there's just some parts of it like that are so over the top that you can't help but think that doesn't sound right. You know what I mean? Like the text that she got. It was so over the top that I can't help but think in the back of my head that can't be real. Because, like, in reality, I've never seen anything like it before, and certainly not in our community. And I've been in some chats where people are quite angry and quite vocal about that, and I've never seen anything quite like that. And I've said it over and over and over again. Leave Hannah out of it. I like to think that people don't go over there and say things either, because I feel like people here know better. And Hannah has nothing to do with this. And you don't need to tell her that her mom sucks, her mom's Natasha. You don't need to tell her that. The timing does support this hypothesis. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I'm going to continue to round back. I definitely will take a look at my email. Like I said, I've been really stressing about my homework and stuff because, hey, anxious for peace, because I'm a procrastinator, and even waiting till the last minute hasn't been working for me. I realized why, though. It's because, I'm getting my master's in digital marketing, and it's a business class, and I have no experience, like, education-wise in business. Like, I have, like, real-life experience with business, but that's why it's like I'm reading, like, a completely foreign language or the foreign alphabet, and I don't understand it. So it's very frustrating, and I have to, like, go through the internet to kind of try and find how to do anything, because of course it's online. So, I can't really, and it's a long story, but it's very stressful, and usually I can get stuff done, but not so much. But yeah, there is a timing thing with it. There is. And it's kind of like when people start to back off of her, like, I feel like the drama had kind of died down for a little bit. And then she kind of, she doesn't have anything to talk about. And I want to correct something I said yesterday, because I was incorrect about it. And I don't want to spread false information, although a lot of you probably already know it. You can have multiple channels under the same AdSense account. That is a thing, because I was doing some research on that. Not for because it comes up in your YouTube studio, and I was kind of clicking and reading on what's there. So, like, those would all be under her name, as far as I know. That is a possibility. She can do that. I was under the impression that wasn't allowed, but the thing, YouTube says otherwise. So I retract that comment yesterday that there might be somebody who's doing that for her. Yeah, it's been interesting. At first, I didn't really realize what was going on, and then fortunately, I kind of found bits and pieces of what was going on. But that's the thing, though. Like, and I've said this 1,000 times, and so has everybody else. How is how she treats people any different? And why is it okay for her to treat people that way? And it's like trying to figure out what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like, you know what? We're never going to settle this dispute of who started what. I'm sorry, we're just not. Because everybody's going to point the finger at somebody else, and the reality is that nobody really knows. We don't know. So, but the fact is that her behavior is, the way she loses channel. I agree with you, Liberty Farmer, which is why I'm kind of interested from like just from a social media management perspective as to why she's doing that. Aside from to get 3 different membership payments from people, because a lot of them are doing that, and I find that to be greedy. And I find that to be not something that I'm down with, because she does. It's not like she's building channels in 3 different genres as much as she wants to say that she is. It's the same people that she transfers over and over. So that's a lot of these people are paying for 2, 3, memberships to her. Um, and I don't think that's right. Or else you have a completely different audience. I mean, you're already getting, they're already paying you because they're supporting you. Like, why are you asking them for more? And I mean, I guess it's their choice to do so. Um, but I wouldn't be comfortable with doing that, especially with, yeah, I know, Liberty Farmer. I mean, what a treat. I mean, I would love nothing more than to be in a chat with a bunch of Natasha diehard loons and, Natasha herself occasionally and, some select, special guest mods. That sounds like a blast to me. Actually, that sounds like it would be really disorganized and awful, and I don't think Natasha would actually be in that chat if you paid her, because you know I I just don't. There seems to be, yeah, all right, I'm gonna start. Well, you know what, Suzanne, so do the people here. A lot of people here would like to be left alone, and it is my right to comment on things. I'm not inciting hate, I'm not bothering, I'm not, she says she doesn't watch any channels, so she, maybe she's not watching me. And I'm allowed to have a channel and chat. I'm not sending people over to any channels on that side. You will never find me in the chats on anybody on that side. I have not commented on anything on any channel. I just don't, because I stay on my channel. Um, and I appreciate your saying that, and I don't know who you are, but I have no reason not to like you. I don't know you. And I will certainly leave you alone. And I try to leave subs out of it for the most part, or else I'm commenting on what I'm seeing and what's going on. I used to be a sub. I used to be a big supporter over there. I think a lot of us, believe it or not, used to be, not all of us. Some of us came from other communities, and some people had no involvement whatsoever and just, saw what was going on and felt a certain way about it. I mean, I'm not here to fight with anybody. I'm not here to argue either. And I appreciate, I try to leave subs out of it. Because that's not fair to you guys. But, if I'm on my channel, I mean, I can talk about what I want to talk about. The people who are here are generally people who want to listen to me. If people are over here taking screen grabs of it and sending it to her, that's on you. That's not on me. She's not watching me. So I'm not technically bothering anybody. I just want to chat with my friends. But yes, because it really is. It's like the same people that are in here often, at least in the chat. And I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of you, which I like. Like I said, I have an intro that I made. I think I know how to play it, which I will do shortly. Rody Gal has seen it. Right. We're not all awful over here. Like, we're really not. There are some people who are really, really angry, but there's also a lot of nice people who just, were maybe hurt and want to talk about it and work through what happened. And I don't see any problem with that, as long as I don't encourage people to call her names. I don't encourage, the body shaming, to any extent that's not in good fun, that like a normal human being would do. I really try and keep this channel, I don't know, like something that I'm comfortable with. Like I said, the only thing that I've said that that I've done that, I might wish I hadn't, there have been some videos, and I actually took down a few videos that I thought were mean and not, dealing in facts, and were just there to make fun, and I didn't want to do that, so I took them down. And that's just not, like I said, it certainly doesn't win me any brownie points around here. It certainly doesn't, bring all the chatters to the yard. It certainly doesn't gain me a lot of subs, and it's, but that's who I am, and I stand by who I am, and I don't change who I am for anybody. Right. That's what I agree, though, Liberty Farmer. And the reason I feel that way is because the minute that you say something that's inaccurate, that just proves her point. Um, and if I'm inaccurate about something, I try my very best to go back. And I always say speculation because, let's be honest, we can't prove anything 100, like I don't have documents, or you know what I mean. But if you look at patterns and you look at past behaviors and you look at, I mean, the fact of the matter, though, and I'm not even going to argue with this with anybody, she's mean and she's a bully. Now, do I say that I like what goes back at her? I don't, and I have been very vocal about that too. But that's like, there's no debating that. That is like a fact. That's not my opinion. There are people that have been very hurt by that and vice versa. But, I only really, a lot of us came from over there, but that's besides the point. But it's true. It's true. And I think a lot of people are just trying to get the facts and figure out what's what so they can make a decision for themselves. And that's really all I want for people. I want people to have the facts. I want people to be open to hearing like both sides and what's going on. And I want people to be able to make a decision for themselves. And if you hear the facts and all that, and you end up going, you decide that, you want to stay over, with Natasha, and there's no sides, first of all, but you decide that you want to go like openly support her, and that's fine. That's fine. If you have all the facts, who am I to argue with that? And I do try to be chill, and, I just, I don't know. I feel like, the community was kind of lacking, I don't know, a different kind of atmosphere. And I just wanted to provide that. I wasn't sure if I'd even be able to. So I'm glad that people feel comfortable here. And I'm totally fine being a small channel, because I get that this isn't gonna win. But you know what? When, all like, and I'm not criticizing either, but like when all like channels that are like small that have like popped up, and I don't even know who's behind them. So, this is no jab at anybody who happens to be behind those channels, because I don't know who is. But, when there's a different, when everything dies down with this, and or else you move on to another topic, or even if you do move on to another topic, a lot of the time you'll lose subs, because they're there for that topic in particular. And even if it's like, not relevant anymore, a lot of the time people don't like where you're going with that. If that, right, anxious for peace. But the thing about it is that, when all is said and done, I'm still going to be here. I'm not going anywhere. I consider what I'm doing a slow burn. And I'm going to be here. I just am, and I'm not going anywhere. And I don't plan to talk about Natasha all the time. In fact, I don't. We talk about a lot of things over here. It's just, the thing is that the thing that we all have in common is that, we have had experiences that have made us a little distrustful or angry, or, any other emotion at Natasha. So that is what we talk about, because we're strangers from all over the world. I mean, we would never meet. A lot of us would never meet otherwise. And we all happen to have this in common, and we all need to work through it and talk about it. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Is wrong. Even if like there was a channel over there and there was a group of people there that needed to talk about what goes on over here, I wouldn't have a problem with that either, as long as it was done respectfully. And I appreciate everybody's support here. Because I was really reluctant to even do this in the first place. I thought I was going to get a lot of hate. And, shout out to the people over that support her too, because everybody that's come in here has been respectful and hasn't been, over the top. And I appreciate that from them as well. Like, I actually was expecting worse. So I give credit where credit is due. You guys have impressed me thus far, and I hope you continue to. But like I've already said, the only person that's going to change my opinion on Natasha is Natasha, because she is the only one who can change my opinion on herself. And that's that, I'm a nobody. So that's, it is what it is. And I do appreciate, I wasn't. And then I was also afraid that nobody would be interested in what I had to say or like my style. But I've been proven that that's not true. A lot of people have been engaged in what I want to say. Hello, Peach. Hey, Nat. Listening and crocheting. And the puppy. Oh, I love your dog. He's so cute. I have such small dog envy. Good night, Peach. I hope you get some sleep. I don't actually know where you're from. I think you're from across the pond. So that would be, you know what, it would be appropriate for somebody to go to sleep regardless, of whether they're on the East Coast or across the pond. It is 10:10 where I am. Um, but yeah, I just he's asleep. Yeah, my dogs they're being quiet at least. They're in their crates, so if you say, yeah, if she's I don't like in the chat, I don't necessarily want to have a panel right now just because I don't know how. But if she's willing to accept your apology, I think she's hopping off and going. I could plan something like that though, Liberty. I certainly could. I would just need to do it like in advance, just because that's how I function. Uh, Usually when things are like spur of the moment, it makes me kind of anxious, but because I've literally never done it before, and I don't know where. This is why I need mods. This is why I need mods. Because people, oh, she can't. Oh, that's right. Oh, Peach. Oh, I'm stupid. Peach, if you're still listening, Liberty Farmer apologizes to you. They wanted to apologize to you, but I think you might have them blocked. Um, so, whether you accept that or not is up to you, but she's reaching out and apologizing, as I think is a really great thing. And I'm happy to see it because I too have had to apologize to people. And I think there's people that I still need to apologize to that I don't know because they might be under a different name. They're trying to, oh, a dog sweater. Nat, I actually was looking because I was like, I seriously have wanted to chat, not to chat. What the hell? What? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. To crochet. So I found one that's like a bee, and it's like a kit that they give you. It's like I don't know, like a little kit, and it was a bee, and I'm like, I'm very tempted to try it. But I'd probably do a terrible job, but I would treasure it always. You like peaches? I like peaches too. I like nectarines. Nectarines are one of my favorites. I like the summertime because there's, a really, really large selection of peaches, and I don't like the white nectarines. And I think there's a white peaches are a thing too, but I find them to have less flavor than like the normal ones. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is what I like about this. We're just really chill here. It's not crazy here. Um, Liberty, can you see Peach and what she's saying? Hey, AJ. Because she responded, if you need me to read it out loud, I will. If you can't see her, actually, I don't think you can. So, Peach is wondering, what you have to, be sorry about. She said that she's going to check on her block list. You can't see Peach. Okay. She said that she's going to, check on her block list. She's not sure, what you have to be sorry about. So I don't know if maybe there was like a miscommunication or it was accidental. I have blocked people accidentally. I don't know. But yeah, she said she's not quite sure, and she's gonna check her block list. Amanda, you're in bed. Yeah, that sucks. I hope that you get some relief on that. Like I said, that anything with like teeth and stuff is, did I say that wrong, Peach? Did I say? Oh, I'm confused. I'm trying to figure this out. All right. Yeah, right. I think that people want to resolve things peacefully. I don't think anybody wants to fight. I think we all. Oh, you were mods together. Okay. Peach, if you're still listening, Liberty says that you guys were mods together, and you blocked her when she left because she accused you of releasing screenshots, and she's apologizing for doing that. Yeah, like I said, guys, you guys are. Let's see. Oh, clove oil. I've actually heard that. Almost Famous. I've definitely heard that about the clove oil. Working on that. But yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to fight. I think people, get that out of their system. And so I don't even know about half the chats that kind of cover this topic. I'll be honest with you. I keep hearing about other ones that I have had I didn't know existed. But because I'm actually when it comes down to it, I'm not really as privy as I think I probably should be to have a channel. I don't know everything that goes on in the community. I kind of count on people like you guys to let me know. I only see what I see, and I generally don't go looking for it either because it, a lot of times it frustrates me. Um, I hope you can get some relief too. Like I said, I have a pretty awful spine condition, and the chronic pain, it eats at your sanity. But even that, I've dealt with that every day since 2017. Mouth pain, because I had to get gum grafting done on pretty much my entire mouth. It mouth pain is it's something else. Um, and I think that's because I like to eat. So not being able to eat what I want is yeah, I'm glad that you're getting into the doctor. Like dental stuff is you don't wanna mess with that and leave that untreated. Humans or animals. Um, it's Peach, it's Liberty Farmer. So that's her username. There's some weird stuff going on YouTube too, I will say. I have actually been subscribed, and I think that there must be like a program that you can buy to like forcefully subscribe people to you, because I was going through my subscription list, and I found that I was subscribed to a handful of channels that I've never heard of, like lifestyle channels and vlogging and like family channels, and I have no interest in any of that. There was one that was like a guy that did bodybuilding, and I'm like, I definitely, guys that do bodybuilding, like I appreciate that. That's not my type. So I definitely wouldn't be looking at that. Um, you don't Liberty Farmer, Peach doesn't remember ever being accused of releasing screenshots unless Natasha did a video of her ranting, but she doesn't care if she did. So it seems like everything's good, but clearly somebody's blocked or something. So hopefully you guys figure that out, and I think you will, because everybody is really, really low key. Oh, Peach, she said that she said it behind the scenes, so it might not have been public. I think it's great that people are kind of coming forward with things that they've done even behind the scenes, and I still have yet to do that for some people. And I have one person in particular. I have one person left that I need to apologize for, and it's those are the hard ones, especially the ones that people don't know about, because it never came to anything. But here's the thing with the community, how it is and stuff. I think that if everybody's just upfront and honest with each other, I think that that's like the only way we're gonna move forward and kind of start to heal from that. Because the person that I need to apologize to is somebody I like very much. I've always liked this person, but I got a little caught up in some nonsense after a particular event happened. And I just want them to know it wasn't even anything really bad. I just wanted them to know that I did talk about her. Yeah, I love resolutions too. Life is too short, and especially to worry about things on the internet like that. I mean, as much as like Natasha's saying that people are going to real life like that, and I know people you do go real life. It's a real thing. It does happen. Um, Other than that, though, like there's no reason to kind of bring this into your real life, because like think about it. Like no offense to anybody, but if you don't like me, when I shut this computer off, I mean, I know I didn't do anything to anybody personally. Um, Are you sure, Liberty? She says that she can't find you on her blacklist, and she's wondering if maybe you blocked her. Um, that's so weird. Like I said, I was subscribed to like a handful of people that I definitely never subscribed to. So I feel like you can purchase subscribers, but like real ones, if that makes sense. I didn't realize that was a thing, and it might not be a thing. But there was nobody else that has. Peach, she has nobody blocked, so maybe it's a weird YouTube thing. That is very weird. So I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't have a solution to that. It seems like you guys are cool with each other. So let's see. Her username, Peach, her username used to be Leslie. I don't know if that helps. I have not said anybody was laughing at her house being threatened. You know what? I have not said that. And here's the thing. I have seen some of the screenshots, and I am, like I said, fool me once, fool me twice. But I can see how that may have become a miscommunication. Um, because I understand that some people's sense of humor is, I have a weird sense of humor. I hope that that wasn't what that was about. But like I said, I don't really necessarily want to talk about that, because I have no, I'm not like banning people from anything right now. Um, and Peach, is that something I should read out loud? She says that Natasha doesn't know, but I know things people were saying in a research. Okay, all right, about her when she left. Okay. Um, yeah, like I said, guys, I I know how screenshots can be manipulated, and I also I also know that people have different ways of communicating, and literally, like, things can be it's the internet, and you're reading text on the internet. um you can't hear tone of voice, you can't see facial features, you can't see body language. It's very easy for things to get misconstrued, and I have a weird sense of humor, and I can see how that might happen. So I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here, because I've been very, very open about how I feel about real life stuff, and how I feel about anybody going at Natasha at that level. So, I, like I said, I'm gonna take your word for it on it. Until if I, that's the thing though. Sometimes you can never you can never predict when somebody's gonna take something in a weird way, especially if they're looking to take something in a way that's inappropriate. Let's see. 2 days ago, people in Natasha's chat were, I need glasses, guys. Oh my god. We're saying, I don't think I have vision insurance though, so sucks to be me. 2 days ago, people in Natasha's chat were saying the process server should be shot. Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I've seen people in her chat say some awful things too. I'll be fair with that. Um, and it's, there's some weirdos on here, guys. I mean, we know that we've witnessed it, we've seen it. And I like to think that a lot of people don't purposely troll. I think a lot of it has to do with them and their own mental state, and or their, you know what I mean. I don't think a lot of it is intended, but it's different when you take something to another level, which I've seen help happen elsewhere. Right, she pinpoints, and she said that we're the ones that are responsible, and it's my mind. Yeah, she does. She does. Right. Right. And then, like, she says she doesn't watch other channels. I don't think it was Peach, it was there were some screenshots shared by Natasha that had some comments that somebody in our chat had made, that I believe were I'm going to go with it, like I said. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they weren't meant in a malicious way. It might have just been this person's sense of humor, um, and it was misconstrued as something horrible. But the thing is that those things are seen in her chat too. And if you're looking to take something in a way that's malicious or, threatening, you're going to find something to be able to do that with. And that's what I'm going to go with this for now, because I have also been very clear that I don't condone people doing anything like that. I'm very open about that. And if, I'm comfortable saying that it might have been a miscommunication on that particular thing. Because that's actually the first thought I had when I read it. No, Amanda, it was the chat that was going on another channel, where people were chatting about her, because that was the topic of discussion. When I saw that, honest to God, that was the first thought that I had, was that was like either sarcasm or like somebody's sense of humor that I get, but somebody else might not. I was kind of like, how is that real life? I don't think any. Yeah, nobody that I know here is going to actually go to somebody's house and light it on fire. Like, no, that is a criminal act. And if somebody would do that, then I strongly urge you to seek professional help, because that's not a healthy response to things. Yeah, right, Jax. I agree. Oh wait, I agree with you, Jax. For somebody who doesn't watch, she sure knows a lot about everyone else's channel. That's the thing. You know, she does. She knows everything, and she says it's because people, screen grab and send it to her, which I'm sure she gets a fair amount of that. But at the same time, like, and you tell people to stop, but the way she tells people to stop, I feel just encourages them to continue. And right, we do, Liberty. We do. We have plenty to talk about without making threats. We really do. Um, you know, it just makes no sense to me. And right, well, she definitely does. There was one particular instance where, I think she thought she was muted, and in the background, she goes off camera, and in the background, you can hear the StreamYard, that countdown music start to go off, and she quickly shut that off. The comment, right. That's what I'm saying. There's been some comments that have happened. I'm going to use, for example, the comment that showed up in Granny's chat that was handled immediately and swiftly. And Granny said that that's wrong, and nobody should be saying that. You cannot control what people say in your chat. You just can't. I cannot control you guys. I can't control any of you. And then she went off and was saying that somebody we were planning to swat her in the casino, when if anybody had actually looked at the situation, they would have seen that, Jess addressed that immediately and mods deleted it. And, she was very clear that that cannot be in the chat because it's wrong. So yeah, that's exactly it. I can't control anybody. I can't even control people that, aren't intending to troll, but their comment comes across as a way that it's not. Like I said, you can't read tone of voice. You can't see body language. You can't, look at facial. You can't see any of that. Liberty, Peach would like you to email her. So her email is littlemisspeach88@gmail.com, spelled traditionally as you would normally spell it. And yeah, I'm assuming that was okay for me to read out loud, because it's in the chat, and Liberty can't see you, so yeah. Although I guess technically I could have typed it, I guess, but hopefully that's okay, and I apologize if that wasn't. But yeah, oh yeah, Liberty says thank you. Yeah, right. Yeah, I appreciate that, Amanda, because I certainly don't. I agree with you, Jax. I agree with you. Right. And I found it interesting that immediately after that, she starts talking about her Amazon wish list, like hint, hint, wink, wink. If you want to make this all better, you can buy me these things. And I don't like that either, at all. And there was not any responsibility. And the things that she has done are equal to, if not worse. And it's like trying to figure out what came first, the chicken or the egg. Like, everybody's going to say that somebody else started. I don't think we're ever going to know who started it. I think that who knows, but the thing is that, she has done, good night, Peach. She has done some awful stuff. And I, drop my links mods. Oh yeah. Okay. I was like, I don't have any mods. Do you have links? What? And it's true. It is the poor me thing. And she acts like, she always says that she's unbothered and she's, all these things. And then she decides that, when it's convenient, she's going to say that she, can't take it and that she's thought of self-harming. And I hope that that's not true. But if I recall correctly, there was a stream where, Carolyn was discussing something similar and she made fun of her for it and said that, she's weak for saying that, something like that. So, I mean, I don't understand. When it's convenient for you, you feel a certain way. And that's the thing. And I also don't appreciate, and she's been doing it a lot lately, the continuous saying of children need their ass beat, because you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, that's not my parenting style, and I'm not going to do that. Let's see, hold on. You, someone else's live, she heard it. Right. Well, that's true, Jax. I mean, I think you would be perfectly happy if she just left you alone and let you do your thing. But she acts like you're doing this because you want her attention and you want, and that's not true. I think you just want to move on and do your own thing, and not have her or any people associated with her bother you. And it's true. And she expects people not to react or respond, and it's like it's the same thing. Like, I don't understand it. You can't have it both ways. And like I've said 1,000 times, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen elsewhere, and I'm not saying I like everything that happens to her. But she has to understand that the things that she does are incredibly hurtful. You don't know somebody's history, you don't know their past, you don't know, the things that they struggle with. You don't know any of those things or what they're going through currently. And if you catch somebody on the wrong, or you say the wrong thing, it could be people that are, generally very respectful and like stuff like that. And they might respond in a way because, she hurts people. It's what she does. My understanding is that Carolyn was swatted. Yes. Yes. I believe that there's a video of it, but I have not seen it. And right, it's okay for her to react, or I'm sorry, what does she call it now? Respond. And she busted out last night that fidget toy thing. I have the same one. I'm actually looking at it right now. It came in a big multi-pack of fidget toys from, you want to know where it's from? It's from Amazon. Yeah, and there's some fun ones in there, and that's probably the least fun one. I have all these fidget toys up here. I'm super like ADD. I have to be doing something constantly. Yeah, I believe. Well, Natasha felt that there was a serious threat to her well-being. Right. Yep. And I'm saying that with my my nicest tone of voice that I possibly can. Because that's not how I read that comment, but that's just me personally. But and right, and she also makes fun of Carolyn for calling the police when she has felt threatened. So I'm confused as to why it's not the sign of weakness and a joke and all of that when it's one way and then not the other. I don't understand that. And I like to use Carolyn as an example because Carolyn really doesn't go back at her really low, if that makes sense. So I don't understand what that is. Okay, anxious for peace. I'm glad you're here and listening very, very much. Yeah, I mean, right. I don't think, right, Jax, I mean, I remember when I first heard what she was angry at you for, I was like, are you serious? You're criticizing him for caring about somebody and trying to do some good because you very successfully raise money? Really? Like, I couldn't believe that. And you're allowed to go on whatever panel you want. Like, she has no, I don't understand why that matters either. She wasn't happy that you were in here either. That was like, I don't know, apparently the second time I've been mentioned. And I knew it was me because she had to poke fun at the fact that I have nobody in here. And she like read down the people I had. And then Mrs. Portland called me desperate, which I thought was really funny. But that's okay. Yeah, go for it. And I probably should be cleaning the kitchen too. I probably should be doing that. It's not too bad right now. It's not too bad. But yeah, I was kind of appalled about that because really all you were doing was trying to help somebody. And that's what I'm saying. Just because you go into somebody's chat and just because even if you participate, it's because we're all friends. It's because we all like to talk to each other. A lot of the time I don't think like it really has to do with the creator all the time. Like I'll go into chats with creators that I don't know if I see people I know in there. And I don't appreciate that some people just assume that you fully co-sign and support somebody. And I'm not talking about Melissa Jade, and I'm talking about it and Jax and what, that you went on her panel. I'm talking about a completely different thing, and this isn't about that. I want to make that clear. But, I don't understand why people think that you you automatically support somebody 100% if you're in a chat. I don't like that either, because I don't think there have been chats that I have been afraid to go in over the past few months because I was afraid that somebody was going to see that and take it the wrong way and go with that and then be mad at me, and I was friends with that person. But you know what I mean? I hate getting put in the middle of that shit. If you have an issue with somebody else, there is no reason that anyone else needs to be brought into it at all, especially when it's like petty stuff. That's why, like I said last night, if I am upset with somebody for something petty, and I'm not talking about, I will be very straightforward if it's something serious that needs to be addressed. But if it's something petty that, because I can be very petty sometimes. I sure can. And I know I am. So if I'm being petty, I'll either get over it or I'll address it with somebody privately. But the last thing that I'm going to do is come in here and try and make anybody else feel a certain way about somebody else. That's why and even if I don't intend to, there are some people that are empathetic, and they kind of I'm trying to say this without having it sound bad, but they kind of feel for that person, and then they start to dislike somebody, or I don't know, or you know what I mean. Right, you are. You're a grown man, Jax. I mean, you can go wherever you want. You don't need her approval. You don't need anyone's approval. That's exactly right. Exactly right. Um, right, right, and right. You don't hate who she hates, and I think that's bullshit. I think that's bullshit. Because like I said, the only time that I'm gonna get mad at you, yeah, Amanda is quite privy on this. It seems. Oh, I thought I read that wrong. I was gonna say Amanda does know her facts here. She she keeps up with this. I appreciate that too, because I miss a lot. But yeah, just because, right, we don't all need to feel the same way about things. Like, her issues with Lindsay are not everybody's issues with Lindsay, and I don't like that. I had a lot of issues with how she handled that situation with Lindsay. Um, I didn't like that at all. Yep, I sure didn't. But right, yeah, exactly, Jax. I'm reading the last part of that there. Yeah, you didn't though, and right, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous because I don't. Nobody should be put in the middle like that, because I hate being put in the middle. Like, the triangulation. I hate it. And if there's something that I dislike most of all, it really is that kind of stuff where, I just think it's petty, and I feel like I'm in a middle school cafeteria, with everybody in their lunch tables. And I'm just standing there with my tray, looking around like, well, who can I sit with without, being judged and whatever. And, sometimes I, find myself caring about stuff like that. Sure. I think many of us do, but some people genuinely don't care, and I wish I could do that. We all have shit to right. That's the other right, Rody Gal. I think that's a point that a lot of people can get behind, is we all have done stuff. We all have. And especially in this situation, there's a lot of people who have, even if it's something minor, including myself, have done things that we're not happy about. And it's pretending that you've done nothing wrong and refusing to take accountability for pretty much everything that bothers me. Yes, I totally agree with you. And Amanda, I do plan on having some open panels at some point. I do. I'm still trying to, like, my first goal was to kind of get the hang of StreamYard, and I'm gonna play my intro video. I'm kind of embarrassed by it. I don't know. I always get embarrassed. I always think that my videos suck, but I don't think they're that bad. I put a lot of work into them, and this one I had just happened to see a cartoon that I was like, that is way too perfect for me not to use, but I think I've tweaked it enough, and not that they're gonna I'm not worried about that. It's stupid. It's like less than 30 seconds, but right, we can grow as people. And I would be even, I would feel a little bit differently about her if she just apologized for the things that she's done that don't just benefit her to apologize for, if that makes sense. Um, because a lot of the time you'll find that the things that she chooses to apologize for is for her own reason and her own good and her own really, Rody Gal, was that around? I know you're older than I am. I feel like that's a newer show. You think maybe one, I don't know. I'm not calling you old. I'm not calling you old. You are like I you are definitely I would never have guessed that you're the age that you are, like not for a million years. I will tell you that right now. You do not look your age and you certainly don't act your age, but in the best ways possible. I'm glad to thank you, Liberty. I appreciate that. Because I had no idea what I was doing. I had never really done videos. Like I've done like content and stuff, but not anything that was like video related, which is why I had never ventured into YouTube before. Because I had no idea how. I've literally just uploaded like concert footage and stuff. Yeah, right. And that's the thing. That's how it should be, Jax. Like, she obviously knew that you were a mod over there and that you and Tasha were friends. And, I, like that, you're not going to let that get in the way. And I feel the same way. Right. And you have things in common, and that's what matters. We're all here for connection, and we're all here to kind of hang out and like connect, because things are really really crazy right now. And I mean, a lot of people were lonely before. Like, I'm not saying that about you, Jax. I'm just saying in general. I don't know you very well, but a lot of people were felt, but I mean, everybody feels isolated. Like, I actually was talking to somebody who is a psychiatrist the other day, and she said that she is like swamped, and that even people that have never had any signs of depression, have never had any diagnosis or any of it, are feeling really really depressed and isolated, and it's starting to affect them. So I can only imagine that that carries over, and we all, if you have, right, you do miss out on a good about like a bunch of people. And I did that for the longest time too. I would take something that, the fact that Natasha didn't like somebody, and I never really ventured elsewhere, because I was like, you know what I mean? And I totally get that. But the thing is that they're, you're going to have things in common. And that's the thing. We're all brought together by a particular topic, but we don't always like talk about that, because we do find that we have things in common with other people. And then we kind of like, I'll like gauge the chat. And I mean, we always end up talking about something completely random. And I appreciate that. Yeah. Right. That's what, that's really insightful, Mrs. Jersey Shore, because that's exactly what I was trying to do. Although as a social worker, I can imagine that you're able to read into those types of things very well. So you are spot on. So the reason I did it the way I did was because I wanted to be able to highlight the deception without being boring. Because people, if they don't watch it, then what good are you doing? The point is for people to watch it. So the fact that I was trying to make it fun so people would actually give it a chance. And to be honest, when I first started, I mean, my analytics were showing that it was a lot of people that probably were hate watching. But for my analytics now, I have way more people subscribed than not subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, I hope by the end of this live I have earned your subscription. I am trying to get to 500, and I would appreciate any and all of you, because I really like having people in this community, and every day we grow a little bit more, and I see new people and new names, and everybody has added some really great great things to the community, and everybody's been very, very respectful, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I got it. I get it. But that's the thing. Like, I think that's really great. I think it's great that people have come in here and felt comfortable. And I know there are people that watch. I mean, obviously, like I don't have, 100 to 300 people, which is usually the views I've been getting on this. I certainly don't have that many people in here, but people are listening. And I hope that, people that don't usually chat, at some point, come in and hang out. There's a lot of people I secretly hope to see over here. Not all of them away from over there. Um, yeah, I didn't know how to do videos either, Earthan. I'm not gonna lie to you. There are some programs that make it very, very easy, but they're very time consuming. And I kind of graduated to a more complex program with it, and I am struggling to figure out the ins and outs of it, but I'm starting to get it. I like the really crappy app on my phone. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like it's probably the easiest one to work with. Um, but I mean, yeah, I encourage anybody to. I mean, I wasn't even gonna do lives, but I figured why not me? You know, why not? Um, I don't. I definitely sell myself short on things. I definitely don't give myself enough credit, and I definitely lack in self confidence sometimes. But don't take that for weakness. It doesn't mean I don't know who I am, and it doesn't mean that anything anybody's going to say is going to bother me because you know, when it comes, I know who I am and I know who I'm not. So, you know, if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And my cat is in here, which is fine. But sometimes he likes to sit on the computer. Um, but he's a good kitty. He's a very sweet kitty. I'm excited to introduce him to everybody. But yeah, like I said, I really appreciate all the positive feedback because I wouldn't have continued to do it otherwise. Um, no, hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Um, where was I? See, this is my ADD brain. I like completely oh, Rotigal, there we go. Thank you. There we go. I can go. I haven't read that one yet. Um, right, I don't want to spend my time trashing other people. I want people to get to know each other and talk. Like, honest to God, like, she can say all that she wants that people are only on here clout chasing and looking for views. And, you know, obviously people are coming on here and they want an audience. You don't come onto YouTube to talk to yourself, although I am perfectly happy doing so. You know, and I like this community. I've been in this community for quite some time. I enjoyed the chats, and that's what I wanted. And I wasn't even going to do it because I thought that I wasn't going to be able to. But everybody's been really great. I was expecting way worse because I've seen it elsewhere. But I think that it makes a difference that I don't. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be mean to people, and I'm certainly not trying to be mean to any of her subs because I don't know them. I don't know them. I've never seen them. I don't know them from Adam's house cat. I don't know anything about them. I only know the people I've seen up on panel and some of the people night after night. And I actually liked many of the people that were up on her panel. And a lot of them have been here. And I think that's great. Because yeah, if I had to pick people from there, it would have been the people that I see on here. But yeah, like if it's your everyday sub, or else I like notice that you're like really awful and have come into other people's chats and stuff. And there are a few that, you know, you're pressing your luck with me, but it's really nothing like I expected. And I think that's pretty good. Because we don't know each other and we all can get along. We all could have things in common. You don't know, and you'll never know, or else you give everybody a chance. Hey, Abby. And I try to stay open-minded. Sometimes I'm not very good at it. Sometimes I jump the gun and don't, you know, but I try not to. I try. Oh my god, my cat. Oh my god, they're both in here now. Oh, Paolo, what are you doing, big boy? He is huge. He is a enormous cat that certainly did not meet his weight goal at his latest vet appointment. But oh god, if he sits on my computer, I apologize. You're probably gonna hear it break. But yeah, what am I saying? I just don't appreciate, you know, her inciting that any of us had anything to do with these things, because all that does is make people, you know, dislike us, and when we didn't do anything. She likes to base the actions of one or two people, if it was even anyone at all, and kind of generalize it. And that was one of my main things were the who's they, who is they, who are those people? Please be specific. I will try to be specific if I would love it if other people would be specific too, because otherwise people don't know who you're talking about, and that's a very indirect way to communicate. And I don't really like that. I like to be direct with people when I can, but I do know when to keep my mouth shut, and I do know when to pick my battles, and I do that quite often. But yeah, Natasha, like, who exactly could you? And she's been specific a few times, and I'm like secretly clapping and like, yeah, there you go, girl, you got that. But could you please be specific as to who exactly is inciting hate? Because you say it's hate channels, but I don't consider myself to be a hate channel. So I would not like to be included. So if you have a list of those people, which I don't think you do, I'd please be specific. That's just my opinion, because I don't like subs being brought into it either, because then you'll have people that'll see you guys somewhere else. Because sometimes you guys might overlap elsewhere. I mean, there's some communities that kind of borderline on each other, even if they're two completely different topics. Like I've seen a lot of the McCamey Manor people here over here, and vice versa. I personally know nothing about that community at all. I know what McCamey Manor is. I know about the controversy. I know some of the people that have come out of there, but that's it. Oh, she did tag a bunch of channels. Really? Was this recently? Was this like while I've been live, or like within the hour beforehand? Because if so, I did not see it. I appreciate that. Way to go, Natasha. Okay, now why don't we do that verbally so people hear it and so on? And because I don't like the fact that people here get attacked elsewhere, because they do. I don't like the fact that any of that happens, because if people cross over and they see your name and they're like, oh, these are the people that are inciting hate, and it could be Rody Gal, who that is like the last thing that Rody Gal has done on here. But let's see. Okay, I appreciate that. Oh, okay, all right. I watched a little bit of Granny's live a little earlier, but then I turned YouTube off. Because I needed to get something to eat, and I needed to put the headphones away for a little bit. I appreciate that, AJ. You make really, really good videos. By the way, I have seen them, and you do a very good job on a lot of like I'm talking like the technical work of it as well. But yeah, like I want to do so much more, and that's why I did that anti-bullying video. And of course, it didn't get a whole lot of views. But I believe in that, because I don't stand for bullying. I don't. And she says that she doesn't stand for it either, but yet she is an enormous bully. And I don't like that at all. And it's stupid. Right. I think, yeah, right. I agree with you. I think several, and that's what I like about this in particular, is because I don't know everybody's history on YouTube, and I certainly don't know. I don't know what has happened between people, because I don't. I'm not everywhere. And I genuinely mean that. Like, I do watch a lot. I'll watch the channels that I watch, but I've seen, but I do know about some people. And I appreciate that, in this chat, I have seen people who I know have differing views on certain things, and everyone's getting along, and I'm happy to see everybody is comfortable here, because that was actually one of my fears when I first started, was I didn't want to make anybody uncomfortable here, because I'm not the kind of person, like I'm not gonna gatekeep people coming in here, as long as they're respectful to others in the chat. I'm just not going to do that, because I want everybody to feel comfortable, but I also didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. And so far, I think it's been working out, because I haven't seen any fighting. I've seen faces that I know are from differing places, and may have history, and everybody's just being respectful. So I appreciate that. I just want people to know, though, that like I think people get that, though. I think people know that it's not like I'm not taking sides. I just don't know. I don't know. And even if I did, I probably would still let people in here. But But if there's other channels that run their channels differently, I get that too. Um, and that's their right to do that. I didn't make her list. Well, I'm a nobody. She's only mentioned me twice. Um, and I think she realizes that I'm not like I'm not the enemy, dude. I hate using that word for anybody, but like I'm not really bothering anyone here. That's not what I want to do. I'm calling her out, and people do watch here. I have had people. I haven't checked my email in about like a week or so, probably more. I'm probably like lost for time here. But I have received emails from people who have seen my videos and appreciate, what I'm doing, and they don't have like a stance either way. They don't have like an opinion, and they said that they're comfortable and they like to listen, and that's really what I'm here for. I'm not here. That's all that matters to me. I just want people to feel comfortable in a chat. And I'm okay with not making her list. Oh yeah, her True Crime Queen channel. Yeah, yeah, yep. Good Lord. How many channels? That's three of them. And she says she wants to divide them up. She wants Recline. I don't remember what she said she wants Recline to be. I feel like Recline should be her drama channel because it just sounds like a drama channel. True Crime Queen doesn't sound like a drama channel. Recline with Natasha does. I don't know. I appreciate that you get that, Audrey. A lot of people can't see it that way, but I get that. I get why though. And right, okay. That's good. I like that. I like that way of thinking. And I'm probably a little bit too forgiving of a person. So for me, I generally get over like, and I probably shouldn't. I really shouldn't. So for me, like I'm not gonna block anybody. Like I'm talking about myself. If somebody makes me angry, because I probably will get over it fairly quickly, or else it's something really awful, in which case I just don't. Part of my language. I mean, it's 11 o'clock. If you're really horrible, I just don't fuck with you. Like that's simple as that. And I'm not going to swear that often, but that's the only way I can put it. I generally have a good sense of who's got good vibes and who doesn't. Apparently, I was duped by Natasha Cooper, which I was kind of surprised by. Oh, I'm sure I will be on the list at some point. Like I said, she has called me out, and Mrs. Portland called me pathetic, which I thought was interesting. So, that's cool though. That's cool. Everybody can have their views on that. And like I said, I know what I am and I know what I'm not, and I'm not pathetic. But all right. And we all know that you're just saying that because you want her to like you. I don't like that anybody treats anybody. I don't like that situation either. But like I said, I'm not going to speak on it. I'm just not. We're moving on. Yeah, no, I'm glad. Like there are names in here that I never thought I would see in my chat, not because of what I'm talking about, but almost because like they're just so they're just big names in the community, I don't want to say like a celebrity, but because that's like a weird thing to say. But just people that you see a lot of places. And it's I just never thought that anybody would come over here to little old me. And I like seeing people here. And I also like seeing people that I just didn't expect to see in anyone's chat over here because I feel honored. I agree with you, Abby. I do. And I don't like that situation. And I don't like that people are weaponized. And I don't like that at all. And the video that I made was actually very in support of that and that statement. But of course, if you're not in the right mindset, that will be construed as attacking. So, and I knew that. But I don't really like anybody doing any of that. Like, I just leave that alone. Oh, she got that from Critical K? Well, yeah, the queen thing with and then the props, like she had the goat. I believe Kay had like a squeaky chicken. She might have had a goat too. I don't remember, but I do remember the chicken. And you do have to have thick skin to be on YouTube. And I wasn't right. I have to compartmentalize things, so I kind of have to still have a self-inventory, and, like, that's the mantra I go with, is that, I know who I am and I know who I'm not. Um, and people on the internet who don't know me, if they say something that isn't accurate, I'm not going to take it personally, because it's not about me. It's about them. Uh, yeah. Well, I get points. Well, I sometimes I mean, I don't always speak out about my differing views from other people, just because I don't always find it necessary. But that was one thing that I needed to say. Um, I needed to say that, because I thought it was important, as somebody who um has worked, just as somebody who has a great deal of empathy, for people who just sometimes are struggling with something a little bit different, or struggling very much so, and the pandemic has certainly not helped them be able to get help that they need. Really, yeah, Earthbound Spirit Critical K definitely wasn't for everybody. And I certainly didn't know everything about Critical K. When you guys, I'm gonna say it because I'm an honest person. I did watch Critical K. That was actually my entryway into YouTube and live chats. But I was there at the tail end, like a month or two. Um, and I didn't necessarily, like, I wasn't watching her all the time, and I saw some stuff that was a little off-putting, but I never saw some of the stuff that I have found out later. Because I don't think I would have sat by with that, but I also probably wouldn't have said anything either, because at that point in time, like, I wasn't on YouTube really. I wasn't like a channel, or really, I didn't participate in the chats or anything. So, um, yeah, the community market thing is a spinoff of that. Yeah, and I don't necessarily mind that she does that either, though. I agree with you on that too, Earthbound Spirit. I do. Yeah. Um, but I appreciate that she's, having people, be able to sell stuff that they make, or whatever. I don't necessarily have a problem with her doing that. I don't, because, or else people have to pay her to go on and do that, which, I wouldn't put that past her. That's actually something a little bit selfless, but I also think it's for watch time. Which is why I'm actually surprised that she's doing it on Recline, because she probably need it more on her. But I mean, she's monetized either way. But for watch time, I feel like that's really what that's about. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that it's because she wants to help others, in that particular instance, which I'm probably very wrong. Yeah, that was me too, Liberty. I probably chatted and said something maybe twice, and I got attacked. And the one thing that I got attacked on, a couple of things, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. That chat was vicious. I'm not going to lie to you, but it was in a different way than Natasha's is. Um, and I don't quite know what I can put my finger on that's the difference. But yeah, oh God, I wouldn't want to be somebody with a different opinion in her chat. Um, well, right, Earthbound. Yeah. I don't like that if she does mock Carolyn, and she mocks the Ramblers constantly. She does. And I don't like that she does that. Really? The recliner queen is gone. I think I meant true crime queen. And I hands down do not think Carolyn at all deserves what she's enduring from Natasha. I don't think she ever has. I don't think it's right, and I just I don't like that situation, and I don't understand why. I don't, because Carolyn has never, like, really come at her in a way that was at all something that she. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I just don't think that she deserved any of that, and I don't think that she did anything to warrant it, and I certainly don't think that she does anything to warrant it ongoingly, and still doing it. That makes no sense. And I've been in that chat a few times. Not often. Like, crafting is not my thing. Although I would like to try to do crocheting. I found a bee, like a little bee that's like a kit that you do. But that's not my jam. But every time I've been in there, it seems like a really nice community of people who are really, really kind to each other and supportive. And I've never gotten the impression that there are people in there that would go and start trouble elsewhere. But I don't know everybody. But I've never gotten that impression that that's at all a toxic community. But every community has its ups and downs and its problems. I didn't sense any of that at the times that I was in there. Right, she calmly calls her out on her BS. Exactly, exactly. And I think it's because she's a bigger channel. Um, and I think she's hoping. Well, I know what she's doing from a business standpoint. But if she thinks that she's getting any ramblers over there, I mean, I think she was sorely mistaken on that, and then it kind of escalated. I think originally that might have been because there are times that people will purposely go into another chat and just kind of try and in a completely different community. I've not that I've thought about it, but like there are other things that I'm interested in that I wouldn't mind having people from, on my channel because I'm not just a Natasha channel. But I never seem to have much luck anywhere else. Because people here know me best because I've mostly been in this community. Yeah, no, I'm saying like I've been in there like a good handful of times, and I've watched some of her lives, like replay. And I've never seen anything crazy or awful, and people are really, really nice and kind and very welcoming there to just about everybody. I don't understand what that is about. I do think it was because she wanted to use the hashtag and she wanted to maybe get something out of it in terms of YouTube, like analytics. But that failed, and then I think it just escalated, and she's not going to let it go. And I wish she would, because she does not deserve that. Yeah, well, let's see. Have I ever tried something with my music? It's well, that's interesting. Not necessarily. I do have some really awful guitar videos up that are really bad quality, and they're from years and years ago. I have thought about it. My first experience with YouTube ever was with one of the some guitar videos that are now privated, where I got attacked by like 13-year-old self-proclaimed guitar gods for playing in a different tuning than like the actual song. And I also learned songs by ear. It's something that I can do, and I enjoy doing it, and then looking at the music to see how close I was. But by that time, I'm usually more comfortable playing it my way. And yeah, so ultimately what happened with that is I was criticized, and at that point in time, like I just couldn't take the criticism on my guitar. But now I don't care. I was young then, early 20s. I'm 33 now, and I've lived a little bit more. Oh, I'm so sorry for your lost earthbound spirit. Yeah, that's the beauty of these communities, though, is that a lot of the time it really is a community, and people are really supportive, and a lot of people do communicate outside of like the chats, like privately, but even in the chats, that's what a community should be, and that's what I want is something like that. In Carolyn, yeah, a good soul for sure, Renee. I agree. I agree, and I think that's what a community should be. I can play piano, actually, Audrey. Yeah, I haven't played piano quite that long. I started playing guitar when I was I think 9 or 10. I started getting lessons. And now I can play bass and guitar and piano, and I can read music. And I would like to do some sort of collaboration with Country Joe at some point, because that would be amazing, and I wouldn't mind camming up for that and putting on one of the fake beards. I would have no issue doing that, and we could have some fun with that. And I think Country Joe has mentioned wanting to do something at some point. Yeah, I think it would be amazing too. I really do, because she's really talented, guys. Like, I I truly, truly believe that, and I think everyone else can see it too, whether Natasha wants to or not. Yeah, I've played in a band. I'm no Hendrix. Like I really not. But I'm not terrible either. And like I said, I don't know if anybody else has somebody in their life that doesn't give out doesn't give compliments out freely. So when they do give a compliment, it really means a lot. So I have somebody like that, and they have said countless times that I am talented at guitar and music, and I believe that because they would not say it otherwise. Um, so yeah. Oh, Earthbound Spirit. That is. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine. There's a lot of loss that people. I just can't even imagine. I just can't. Um, and I'm glad you had that community to help you through that. That's really special. I'm glad Carolyn and her community were able to be there for you. Um, yeah, and I usually like CJ always has a nice thing going over there too. Definitely, definitely. And let's see. And I like Country Joe's chat, and I actually like when Dorothy and Country Joe kind of do their thing. I think they do some good shows. I've seen some really funny ones with the two of them together. I think that was my first introduction to Country Joe. Actually, was on Dorothy's channel. Yeah, I think everybody loves CJ. I mean, how could you not? She's nice to everybody except Scammy. But we all know that, Scammy gets what she gives, and she gives a lot. So she gets a lot, and that's fair. But I've never seen CJ, I know that the situation with, her stalker and stuff, and that's sucks. And I feel horrible that she has to deal with that. But I've never heard her speak ill of anyone else. She's really kind woman. There's a bunch of those here. And I hope to get on some panels going forward. And yeah. Earthbound Spirit, you're breaking my heart. I am so sorry. I can't I don't even have any words. Like, I'm tearing up a little bit, but I don't have any words. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's like the kind of thing that you just don't have words for. Wow. Yeah. There's also a community member who lost a child very recently, and I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Hold on. I'm very empathetic, and I care very much for people. So, that's just how I am. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be strangers. It could be anybody. Yeah, you know what, Jax, I had as well, and I also apologize to Carolyn for things that I had said. No, Earthbound Spirit, you didn't bring anybody down. That's what I want this community for. If you needed to say that and you wanted to share that I'm honored that you would come in here and share something so personal and close, like, to you. No, please don't ever think that you're bringing anybody down. You're not. I'm honored that you were, able to come here and talk about it. That's why I have this. Yeah, well, I can imagine that's probably the one person. I don't understand that at all. Like, I'm glad that you've apologized to people. That I think that makes a difference. I never had an issue with you, personally. I always I always appreciated some of the stuff that I heard from you on panels, that, especially, that you mentor some people that might go through some stuff that's similar than that as you. And I think that's amazing. I think that there needs to be more of that. So I've never had an issue, but I can imagine that, anybody who's been involved in her community for quite some time, ends up having a lot of apologies to make. I think that's everybody, including myself, but less so. I just got caught up in a lot of things that I really shouldn't have, and I don't know why I did. And like I said, I had to stop and be like, what was I thinking and what was happening that I got caught up in that, because it's so unlike me. And that's why I truly think, and you know what? I know that Natasha, and it's true, nobody has control over adults. It's, we are grown adults and we make our own decisions ultimately, but she's got to be doing something different. And that's funny to think, because I know who I am and I know what happened. Like, I know myself and I know my brain. And the fact that I got caught up in that, something's off about that. And that's actually why I started to wake up a little bit, because I'm like, that can't be right. There's got to be something going on here. Because I'm not a follower. I've always done my own thing, and I fell right into that, and I don't know how. I don't know how. I think Rody Gal, you felt the same way about that. Because I know you, so I mean, I know that you definitely probably wouldn't have gotten caught up either. Right. Yeah, guys, yeah, I don't want anybody necessarily sharing any of their personal information in here. Um I just, yeah, because you never know who's going to see this or watch a replay, and I don't want any of you being harassed at all, because let me tell you, there are people who will send some really inappropriate emails. I have received some. And I don't want anybody else to receive those. Like, even if you think you can handle it. So if you want to get in touch with somebody else and it's okay with the other person, I am more than happy to get your. I'll hook you guys up. Like, Granny hooked me and Rody girl up, and I appreciate that, because like we are in the smallest state, so everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. And we ended up having quite a bit in common, and we live like 10 minutes away from each other. So I appreciate that. That was like, that was a good connection to have. But I'm more than happy to do that for other people too, because that's what like I said, like I want that for this community. I want people to be there for each other. I just don't want any personal information shared in here, because there are people that will use that, even if they don't know who you are, simply because you're here. And I don't want that. Yeah. So Rody Gal, if you're comfortable with that, if people want to, like I said, I'm going to go through my emails. I promise I'm going to go through them Monday. I will go through all of them. And I'm also going to see if anybody is interested in modding for me. And if they are, I know there are some people. I just would like some people that I can count on to be in here. I'm okay giving wrenches to people that are here and there. That's fine. I just need to be sure that there are people that are, if I'm live, they're going to come here, because that it defeats the purpose otherwise. And I know there's a lot of people that go live on this community, and I know a lot of people are wrenches at multiple places. So I don't want to be a not a conflict of interest. What am I talking about? I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah. I know that I know that people know who I am at this point. Not that I was anything crazy, but that's the thing. I did get an email. When was it? When did I check my email? Because everything, I feel like it was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't know. It had to have been. I don't even know anymore. It probably was like about a week ago. Yeah, I've gotten emails that have had people mention that they know who I am. And I never can tell if it's like in a weird threatening way or like in a nice way. I'm just gonna go with a nice way. But yeah, I mean, and I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the comment. Oh, I don't have my banner playing today. You know what? That's okay though. I don't really feel comfortable having my banner playing. I'm going to put it on, because I like that it says my thumbs up. But like obviously, my cat has he has dental surgery that I'm trying to get the money to pay for, and not necessarily at all from you guys. I feel uncomfortable having it. So that's why I'm taking it off, but that's what I'm talking about. Where am I? Okay. Right. So I'm waiting for somebody to come at me about that because everybody who has known me knows that I used to be one of Natasha's big donors. And I can imagine that it would be like, why do you need, like, why are you having a hard time finding the money for chicories? Because they don't take payment plans, so I have to. It has to be up front, and he like can't chew his food because he needs so many teeth removed. So it sucks. But it's because I lost my main source of income since then. That is why. So like I do, yeah. Earthbound Spirit. I got two opinions on it. And because of the pandemic, everything is so booked out. Anybody that does like low income stuff, like they don't even know if they could get him in. So I'm like, they said that it's not necessarily an emergency. Um, but because he's uncomfortable, I want to get it done for him as soon as possible. But I'm trying to get him in at the place that I know and trust. And the two prices were very similar. And they were both close to $900. So that's why I wanted a community tab, because if I wanted to be able to post that, because I don't want anyone, I don't want to be like Natasha. I don't, and I don't want anyone to ever feel like I'm like Natasha. A few people have have donated so far, and I am beyond grateful for that, and I want to publicly thank those people because I didn't expect anyone to, so I didn't check it until like yesterday or 2 days ago, and I feel like I was rude, but I feel it makes me like uncomfortable about that, but I guess that's how YouTube works, and people do that. Like I give people money, so I did, so I shouldn't feel uncomfortable about certain things, but I think everybody here knows that I am not Natasha and I'm not scamming anybody. Yeah, she did. That's what I'm saying, Jax. I mentioned that earlier. Yep. She certainly did. She certainly did. And I agree with you there, because she used to yeah, everybody starts somewhere, and that was one of the first videos I did. I'm like, everybody's a nobody when they come on here. Everybody, like, nobody knows who you are for the most part, or else you're like a celebrity. And you know what I mean? Like, they don't know who you are, so everybody's a nobody. We all build ourselves up, and she can say she built it on her own merit, but I disagree, because she built it on talking about other people, and she's always done drama, like not to the extent that she does now, but from what I've heard from people who have known her for quite some time, the drama is something that's been prevalent. And plus, if you're doing true crime, technically you're talking about somebody else, because that is somebody else's, somebody who was murdered or missing, or their families. And it seems like the cases that she got involved in often got quite messy and ugly. So yeah, I don't really know why that continues to happen, but it has, which is interesting. But it's true. She always talks and says things people are nobodies, but nobodies don't say nobodies for long. And like I said, I know that how I behave on here and how I communicate isn't going to get me it's not going to get me like a ton of subs overnight. It's not going to get me super popular. It's just not. But I consider myself more of a slow burn. And I'm not going anywhere. So, the amount of people that have actually like subscribed to me and watched my stuff in the short amount of time that I've been on here, I'm blown away that anybody, like, I think my watch time is very close to 1,000 hours, if not just surpassing it. And the fact that anybody would watch my videos or my lives for that amount of time, it just blows me away. And I am so honored because I never thought that in my wildest dreams that would happen. So I'm very pleased with what I have going on here, and the community, and I don't really worry about the growth. I don't. It'll come when it'll happen. I'm glad, Jax. Like, I'm glad that you're here. Honestly, I was kind of shocked when you came in. I was like, I never thought you'd be in here, and I'm glad you are. I am glad you are. Just because, like, you're like, you're like one of like the big figures in that, and Liberty as well. I think I was like, oh my god, like these are people that Liberty. I interacted with Liberty a little bit when I was on the true crime, but um, I really appreciate your saying that. It definitely means a lot to me because I like to be because that's the thing. I think a lot of people here were friends with. I appreciate that earthbound spirit. I don't want you to go anywhere. I like that you're here. I think you contribute a lot of really really great stuff to the chat and stuff. And I would be sad if like you've been here since probably I think my first live. But yeah, I know that a lot of people were friends with Natasha or had a connection, and it's hard to I feel like a lot of people don't want to necessarily just go in and bash her automatically, like ruthlessly, or go I think some people just kind of want to work out what happened and kind of have a community, but not necessarily like not necessarily take it to a way that I'm not comfortable doing. If that makes sense. And I feel like that's why some people that I see here end up here. Or other channels that are a little bit more mellow. I know there are others out there that are like that. I'm genuinely just not on a lot of channels. And I very rarely chat, especially nowadays, because a lot of reasons, but mostly because I'm just doing my own thing. Right, you are scared to have an opinion. Pick a lever. I think that you're absolutely spot on there, and it is. A lot of the time, some personalities though are really and I don't know if they necessarily mean it to be that way, but there are some personalities, especially coming on YouTube, because like a lot of people, you have to have like a certain kind of personality to do the lives, and I honestly didn't think I had it, but people disagree, so I'm happy about that. But a lot of it's kind of you do feel that way. You do feel like you don't want to because I know like if you disagreed in like let's say Critical K's chat, like that didn't usually work out very well. But yeah, right, yeah, and there's a lot of I think some people just don't want that vibe, and they want to be able to express their opinion, and I'm definitely willing to hear everybody's opinion on things because I'm curious, like I don't like I said, like there was a guy who was like really into me who I knew him quite well, so I knew who he was, and like I knew like I knew who he was and not and like who he wasn't, but he started agreeing with everything that I said, and I have some really strong opinions on things, like nothing that has to do with here, just in my life. I have some very strong, often very unpopular opinions about things. Um, and he would just agree with every single one of them. And I'm like, dude, I know you don't agree with that. And it's okay. You don't have to agree with me. Like, I don't want you to. Because I know it's ingenuine, and friendships built on like lies and not genuine feelings and opinions, that they're destined to kind of blow up eventually. Because someone's going to get frustrated, or I don't know. I don't like that. I want people I want people to stand up to me and say I don't agree, and that's fine. I will be perfectly open about that. Yeah, I'm not here to have an echo chamber or like my ego boosted. It does boost my ego, and I appreciate that because people are very positive here. I'm sorry if you hear my cat. He's the very vocal one. That's Paolo, and he's got some Siamese in him, and they are very vocal cats, like just typically as a breed. And he is no different. So he's very, very loud. And there's nothing that he needs or wants. He just sits there and just meows because he can. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, right. I don't want an echo chamber, and that's like especially with like true crime and stuff. Like as long as people are respectful, like first of all, like if you're gonna come in here, like let's say we were discussing the Watts case, which we will not probably be covering that in any great detail, because I don't believe that I feel like enough people do that, probably way better than I would, and I see where that goes in some places, and I just have no interest in that. But like if you were to come in here and like bash Shanann, I might challenge you on that. I don't like that. I don't like that. Depending on how you say it, though, like if you say that, that came out really wrong. I don't want bashing of victims, period. But if you're going to come in here, and I've seen some people get yelled at for saying something along the lines of, and I'm just saying this because I'm repeating what somebody else said, so guys, don't jump on me for this, please. That they thought Shanann was controlling, for example, and that we can have a discussion with. I'm not going to kick you out for that, but anybody who says like some of the things that I've seen elsewhere, I'm not having that, So, yeah, Watts Island is not an island that I would like to take a nice boat cruise to ever again. So I am good. But there are a lot of cases, like I want to do some true crime on here. I don't know how good I'll be at, like, I'm not very good at like relaying facts. I'd probably have to write a script. And I probably would do that, and then kind of like how Critical K did it, and kind of do a monologue, and then we could have a discussion. Because my brain doesn't function in a way that we could have a discussion otherwise. Archive 81. It's so good, guys. If you have Netflix, I believe it's still #1 today. It's called Archive 81. If you like, it's like Stranger Things for adults, but like with some found footage, horror. It's really, really good. It takes a lot to get my attention and keep my attention, and it did. And I've rewatched it several times because it's something that you kind of can't not pay attention to, or you miss something. Highly recommend. 2 thumbs up. Yeah, and that's the thing. I like being able to connect people because, Jax Rody Gal has always spoke very highly of you to me. And that's the thing. Like, I don't think anybody ever expected to see. I'm going to be honest with you. I never expected to see you to leave, I guess. And I'm glad that you did. I'm really glad that you did. And the fact that she, kind of booted you for being a good person. I mean, that says a lot about her. So I love the Brandon Lawson case. Like, not love it, but it's very interesting. Oh my God, Jax. Yes. I would be more than happy to go into that. That is actually one of my, I hate saying this in true crime, one of my favorite cases. I find it really interesting. And I found out about that from the podcast, True Crime Garage. But ever since then, I have gone down the rabbit hole with that case, and I would be more than happy to try and cover that. And I agree with you. I feel like that's one that could possibly get solved, and it doesn't get a lot of attention. I don't understand why, because it's so interesting and weird. But that's also one that I really, really, really have done some research on. I have not heard that name in any chats or on YouTube very much. There's a lot of cases that I think are really interesting that I never see on YouTube because I've looked. You like True Crime Garage? Yeah, that's I have some of their merch actually. One of them says like girls don't like boys, they like True Crime Garage and murder documentaries or something. I'm like I need that shirt. But yeah, I really like that their podcast. It's actually one of the few true crime podcasts that like I really, really like. I like a lot of them, a little, like, I'll peruse other ones, but I do watch that one quite religiously. Definitely look into that one, Anxious for Peace. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. And there's a lot of interviews out there with the family who really give you a good sense of kind of what was going on in Brandon's life when things, started happening. And it's really weird. It's really weird. And it's hard to, when you think of it one way, you're like, yeah, you'll see. It's really interesting. I don't like what kind of reality TV. I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I'm gonna be honest. It will suck you in, Anxious for Peace. It absolutely will. That's one of the ones that you're gonna be going down the whole rabbit hole. There's another podcast that has a lot of I want to say it's called Missing Brandon Lawson. I want to say that's what it's called because it originally was one about Mara Murray, which is another missing persons case that's really interesting, and that's actually local to me. And that's another really interesting one, but I feel like it's by the same people, and they had interviews with some of Brandon's family members, and they did a really good job of I think it is that one. They did a really good job with it. Yeah. Okay. And then the other one that they did was the Brianna Maitland case, which also is kind of local to me because at the time that she went missing, I was actually living nearby where she was. So yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't know these people at all, but it's kind of like when you live in New England, you feel Yeah, crawl space. Jax, that's actually it. That's it. That's the one. That's the one. Yep. Thank you. That's the one. Those are the people that do the missing Mara Murray, Lance and Tim, I think. Yes, that is it. That is the one that actually does a really good segment, or I think it's like an offshoot of it. Like they're the same people involved in it in some way. But they do a Brandon Lawson, really good job with that. That's exactly it. Um, See, there are people, we have a lot in common in here, and I never, ever, ever like see anything like this talked about. And that's what I want. I have a whole bookshelf of true crime books, a lot of which are really good and a lot of people don't know exist. And I'm not talking about Watts Island books. I'm not talking about Sherilyn Cadle or anything like that. I'm talking about actually like, yeah, cases that I think people would really, really enjoy, and they don't get a whole lot of attention. And I think that they should. And if I can possibly find a way to communicate facts about things in a way that is at all good at, I will do that for you guys, because that I would like to do that. Because that was originally what I wanted to do. I wanted to be, and I was under this name for a little bit, True Crime Book Club. But it never really took off. So, yeah, that's what I want this for, Roadie Gal. Like, that's what I want. I want people to share really good documentaries that they've seen. Because a lot of people in here are true crime buffs. Not everybody, as I've seen. I think a couple of you have said that you're not really into true crime, and that's fine. We're not just going to do true crime here either. But I would like to do some, if I can. I definitely am going to do some, because, it's kind of a big part of my life, if that makes it. I don't want to say the family business, because that makes it sound like I'm involved in like some like crime syndicate, but I'm not. It's not like that. You guys will find out very soon, though. You will find that out very soon. I'm trying to find the most appropriate way of doing it, but right now there's a lot of drama going on, and I kind of want to wait for it to calm down before I do what I'm planning on doing for you guys. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it. I know a few people know what I'm talking about, but not many. Yeah, comfy clothes and murder shows. Yes, I like that. I like that. Ask a Mortician. Yes, I do know that one. I do know that one. There's also a YouTube channel that does interviews with, I forget what it's called. I need to look it up. But they have they have a lot of people that they interview, like professionals, and you can ask the questions on Twitter. And one of them is a mortician, which is kind of interesting, because like I've never I didn't know some of that stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of really good good stuff that's out there. Yeah, I know you are, Roadie Gal, and actually Roadie Gal has some really good insight into true crime, just based on I don't want how can I say this? Their area of expertise is very interesting in terms of true crime. So I would be more than happy to have you up on a panel at some point to talk about that too. Because you never know who's in these chats, guys. Like, there's some really, really interesting folks in here. There are some people that you would never guess what they do for a living, and there are some people that you would never, like, that you don't know you have anything in common with. So I get a lot of weird suggested content now. Now that since I started like watching Natasha, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I get some weird stuff that I don't know why anything that I've done on the internet has given any sort of analytic the idea that that's what I want to watch. Like, I get a lot of like the 6,000-pound life, or 600. I'm sorry, 6,000. Like, I get a lot of that, and I've never watched that TV show in my entire life. I get a lot of those two sisters that are it's on like TLC. I've never watched that either, and now my feed is like saturated with it. So I was like, oh my god, like I got a kick out of it. I know I'm not the only one, because I have heard other people say that they get the same stuff, and they also have never watched any of that. But I think I know how to play my my thing. Yeah, hoarders. Some of it, I actually had one that came up the other day, and it's like I got a kick out of it, because it said Glenn is torn about leaving behind his rat collection. I don't know why that's funny. Well, I know why it was funny to me, but I got a kick out of it because I was like, at first I read it and I didn't realize it was like, a clip from the show Hoarders. And I was like, excuse me, what? But then I was like, oh, all right, it's sponsored content. It has nothing to do with the Glenn that, is in this community. But it was weird. It was something. I don't watch, like I said, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I really don't know why I have cable at this point. I think I have it only for sports, and I'm not even the one that watches sports. I don't like sports at all. So yeah, I can't. I'm starting to have a hard time justifying why. Yeah, Stephen Asante is from Rhode Island. That's right. Yep. And I remember when you mentioned that, I was like, yep, okay, well, that's because, like I said, in Rhode Island, it takes an hour to drive across the whole state. Like, everybody knows somebody who knows somebody. Like, hills have eyes over here, but not like in a creepy, like, horror movie weird way. like everybody knows everybody's business. It's kind of creepy. But everybody, like, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I feel like I recognize him. But yeah. And I've been very shy about my intro video, but I feel like I should play it, and hopefully it plays well and it doesn't have the sound issues that it was having. All right, I think I can play it now. So here you guys go. I hope you like it. I'm probably going to cover my ears and cover my eyes because I don't like to see these things, especially my little voiceover, because it sucks. But I had to do it because it wouldn't make sense otherwise. But I sound ridiculous, and I know that. So be nice. Rody Gal says she likes it, though. I think I can play it on here. Okay. All right. I can do this. All right. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to do it. I think it'll work.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
BeePlus. That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real queen bee.
Here she comes, the most beautiful bee in the universe.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
Okay, there you go. Hopefully that played. If it did, that I want that. I'm working on that to be my intro. And I don't actually think I'm like a queen bee or anything like that. I just think it's funny because, like, the context of it. You guys know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain it. Anyway, I thought about taking Natasha's face off of that, but then I'm like, no, because that's exactly something that she would say. She would say that we're jealous and whatever. I'm not jealous of you, sweetheart. Like, not jealous. Nope. Not at all. And that she continues to say that we're all obsessed with money. Well, money is, like, not important to everybody. So I don't know what to say. Like, it's just not. Yeah, that's the thing. I want to call this community the Hive because I'm stuck with BeePlus now. It's like I'm not gonna change it because that's what I'm known as. I got rid of the numbers because I am the BeePlus. Although there's tons of BeePluses on YouTube. I didn't know who'd have thought. But I'm gonna work with that because the Hive, we can be a community and we can all be queen bees. You could be a worker, you could be a drone. You don't even have to be a bee. You could be a giraffe. I don't care. We're all welcome here. So yeah, he is well suited for Tasha's channel, Abby. I agree with you. He fit right in. I think he might even be a little too much for her at some points. I think there were definitely some things that he said that I was like, oh, well, she's probably maybe regretting that a little bit there. But who knows? Because sometimes I don't even think she's paying attention to what goes on her panel. So who knows? She might not have even caught it. I'm the kind of person, though, that like always listens to my lives afterwards just because I like to see what I'm doing. And I'm like not a perfectionist, but maybe a little bit of a perfectionist. And I don't even like the sound of my own voice. But as I get more confident, I'm hating it less and less. Thank you, Mrs. Jersey Shore. I was like, I have to use this and put this together with this because it's just perfect. And it came up in my suggested content, so thank you, YouTube. Because I don't watch that show. It's like a cartoon. Not that I don't watch cartoons. I love me some Futurama. I love me some King of the Hill. I'm stoked they're bringing it back. I like The Simpsons, although I think it's not as great as it used to be. But you know, I like my cartoons. I like you know, what is it? When I was a kid. Well, you know what? No, I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of cartoons, and I'll admit it. You know, Arthur was my jam back in the day. I loved watching Arthur. And if there are reruns watching, or if I find it somewhere, I will still watch it. And it's ending soon, but there's some like awesome memes that come out of that. Let me tell you. Hey, Natasha Victim. Well, you know, you might have to, might have to catch up on the replay because it is almost midnight here, and I am probably gonna get off of here fairly soon, because I do need to get up a little bit early tomorrow to do my homework. But I feel bad. But I'm glad that you were able to go out and see your bestie of 27 years. That is awesome. I, you know, used to have a bestie of 20 plus years, but you know, we I guess that's not a thing anymore, and that's a long story, but it's probably for the best. Because you know, people grow apart, and it is what it is, and I'm not gonna chase somebody who doesn't want anything to do with me, you know. So I'm just gonna leave it be. And if she ever wants to say hello and not be horrible, then I'm here. But until then, I'm not chasing that. Nope. Yeah. Like I like kid cartoons a lot of the time because I feel it like it's comforting to me. Like a lot of it is like I don't know, brings me back to easier times. And some of it is just like easy to watch, you know. I don't really have to think about it. And I like that a lot. But I am very excited. They are bringing King of the Hill back, and I am very, very excited about that. What I wanted to do today is I did want to play. I have a playlist that is titled Things That Will Never Not Make Me Laugh. And I wanted to share those videos with you guys because there are some videos that if I'm ever having a bad day, and a lot of it's really weird kid stuff, but if I'm having a bad day, if I watch these things, I am, you know, I can't help but like die laughing. And I was going to share that with you guys, but I'm going to do that when I can share my screen without, you know, flooding you guys with, you know, international business, global marketing, and oh my God, integrated marketing nonsense that my tabs are full of because I need to cite some resources for a paper, and I, you know, stupidly do not do it as I go. So I need to go back and do that. So I couldn't even like navigate through my tabs right now, but I am gonna do that. And depending on if I finish up my my stuff, I mean I should, and if I do, I'll probably be on here late again. Because the crowd that comes out around this time is nice. And I do like the morning crowd too, because that's our friends that are, you know, usually across the pond and elsewhere. And I like a lot of them when they're able to be on here as well. So I like both of those times. I like, you know, 11 a.m. my time, and then maybe like 10 p.m. my time. But I'll probably end up coming on tomorrow. But if not, like Sundays tend to seem to be like my day off. But I'd probably be on here because I like hanging out with you guys. This isn't like, you know, a chore to me. This isn't, you know, I have no motive to do this other than hanging out with you guys. Yeah, who doesn't like, you know, cat videos? Like, who doesn't like that stuff? Who doesn't like cat, and besides Natasha, you know, besides Natasha, who doesn't like cute puppy and kitty content? Like, I don't know anybody who doesn't like that. Surprisingly, only one of the videos involves a cat. I think there might be more, but definitely one of them. Because there's a movie that is a children's movie. It's called Cats and Dogs, and the evil cat is named Mr. Tinkles. And I am obsessed with a few particular scenes from that, and I am going to share them with you because I cannot be the only one who finds them incredibly funny. I swear I'm 33. I swear. It is a nice community. I am assuming you're talking about this community. I hope you're talking about this community, Natasha Victim. If you're not, I completely understand, but I hope it's our community, because we do have a nice community here. I am quite pleased with it and quite happy with the vibes in here and the people. This is better than I expected, and very pleased with it. And that's the thing. Like, I don't feel like I'm really necessarily even gonna be on Natasha's radar, because I don't think she wants to play me, because if they play me, they're just gonna see that I'm really not this horrible monster that she wants to portray people as. Or else she happens to pick me up on here on a very, you know, weird part and take it completely out of context. You know, she's not gonna be proving any of her points streaming me. Ever. So yeah, cats are really particular. We have two cats that live you know, up in the main part of the house. And they're like a bonded pair. I've had them since both of them were babies, but I do have a feral. Well, he's feral with everybody but us. And he lives in the basement right now. Because he's in and out for there, and he hasn't been vetted yet. But I'm not looking forward to having to introduce them, and I'm still not convinced that it's going to go smoothly. But he's totally fine. Like, the basement is nice, like it's homey. My dog's name is Molly too. Yes, I have Molly, and she is an American Leopard Hound, and then I have Traveler, but we call him Tinky, and he is a super mutt on stilts. He's basically he should be a small dog, but he's literally on stilts. He is going to have some health problems because he is a funny looking thing. And I have so yeah, I love kitties so much, so much. I have a special place in my heart for Siamese kitties too. And my cats' names are Chicory, who is the one who needs the dental procedure, Paolo, and Domino. And I also have a leopard gecko that does not have a name. So, because we found out that because we've had it since it was it was a baby, and then 2 summers ago it randomly laid eggs, 2 of them. There's no other geckos in the tank with it. And we've had it for 7 years, and it just randomly laid 2 eggs, and it has not since, but it was very bizarre. We should, Earthbound Spirit, who does do some pet segments is Dorothy. She's done a few of them, and I know she plans on doing a few more. I wouldn't mind doing something like that as well, but yeah, she had 2 lives, which is actually where my animals debuted. Oh, I love dachshunds. Is it like one of the mini ones, or is it like one of the bigger ones? And Mr. Pickles is a very appropriate name. I call Molly Miss Piggy. She has a lot of interesting nicknames, because I've called them I don't know why Traveler is Tinky. I really couldn't tell you. Or just Dumbass, because he's not very bright, but Tweedledee and Tweedle Dumbass, I call them. But they're good dogs for the most part. Molly is difficult, but she's a good girl. And we love her. Even though I probably should have done my research before, before you get a dog and you don't necessarily know much about the breed, because they're hunting dogs and they need a job constantly. And I wish I could put a picture of her up. I had her baby picture as one of my backgrounds, but I don't think it'll let me show the whole thing. Oh no, it won't. It's one of her baby pictures, but I don't think I can move this. No, I can't. Not that I know of. I'm afraid to touch anything. But I'm gonna be hopping off here anyway. But that was the picture that we got. A couple of them. If I wish I'll put it as my profile picture next time. And I couldn't say no, because she's literally snuggling a stuffed bunny. And I also didn't know she was going to be as big as she was. I was told that she was going to be 40 pounds. She is not 40 pounds. She is much larger than 40 pounds. So The only good thing though, I mean, she's really easy to walk. She wasn't always easy to walk, but she's much better on her leash. I don't mind walking her. The other one is awful. But yeah, I am probably gonna go eat because I literally like right before I came on live, I got Wendy's and I still haven't eaten it. It's still in the bag. So it's probably cold, and that's okay. You guys are worth it. I can it's a salad, first of all, so that's fine. I can put the chili in the microwave, and I got a baked potato because I'm a weirdo and I go to Wendy's to get a salad and baked potato. But it is. I don't know. I got a burger from it last time, and I don't eat a whole lot of meat, but I wasn't impressed. So hopefully it is not too bad. And like I said, I'll probably be on here tomorrow around the same time, so 10:30. 10:30 might be a little late, but probably 10. Who knows? I have no schedule. I should be better about being on time for you guys though, because then it gets confusing, and it's probably my own fault. I don't have more people in my chat because I don't get the time right. But I like chatting with you guys, so I have it is what it is, and I'm okay with that. I just don't like confusing people. I know people are like, aren't you supposed to be live? And I'm like, wait, what? What time is it? I don't know what time it is. I'm very ADD. Especially when I have a million things going on like I do right now. Like, I started my YouTube channel while I was on break from school, and I am reminded now as to why I decided not to do it earlier, because it's a struggle, but I enjoy it, so I'm not going to stop doing it. I will make it work. Yeah, definitely watch the replay. Hopefully it posts immediately afterwards. I don't know. I've had some issues with it, but who knows? Yeah. We'll be here on the replay, Earthbound Spirit. I get that. I get that. You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta go to work. But it's all good. Like I said, I plan to be on at different times. So Monday I might be on at like 11, and then probably later on at night I'll probably do 2. I don't know. I like being here, so I can do that too. Natasha streams all day, so I think I could I could do that. Like I do freelance work, so I kind of make my own schedule. So I have that, and then I have school. But as long as I get everything done, clients are happy, school is happy, and I'm happy. So that's a good thing. All right, guys. So I am gonna head off of here, and then next time I will have my intro playing, to come in. Hi, Spinning Kathy. I feel bad because I'm like just about to end this. But hello, I'm glad that you're here. I always like seeing you in the chat. You're one of my people that is in here quite frequently, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you that show up. Like I said, I know that a lot of people watch, so if you're lurking, don't be shy. Please feel free to hop in the chat, because you will be welcome here as long as you're respectful, and I think most of you are capable of being respectful. In fact, I think all of you are capable of being respectful. We don't bite. And I would love to hear from other people in here as well, because I know you're there. I know you're watching, and Natasha Cooper claims it's not her. So, if I'm going to believe that, it's got to be some of you guys. So, all right. Yeah, that's right. Our Dorothy is doing another one of those, guys, just so you guys know. So if you have pets that you kind of want to show off, I believe you can email her. I want to say her email's in her about, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So yeah, have a great night, guys, and you guys are all the best, and I can't thank you enough. So have a great night. Stay safe on the YouTube streets, and I will see you tomorrow.